Yes guys, Max here, back again with a brand new video, and today we're going to be discussing the Wolves versus Manchester United game last night. It's the morning after the night before. Let's talk about it. Now, what a game this was. Normally, when Wolves play Manchester United, it normally ends in a low-scoring affair. 1-0s, your 2-0s, your 0-0s even. But yesterday, they had a treat for us. 7 goals at the Mainoo. You never see that happen, ever. Now, where to start? We'll start with the starting lineups. I said start a lot there, didn't I? Anyway, let's digress. Manchester United lineup, very strong. We were very, very, very strong. And that included Marcus Rashford, who's been in the headlines and the news this past week, obviously, for the wrong reasons. But he has made up with Erik ten Hag. And that's what you want. Now, people have been comparing the situation to Sancho, and it's just not the same, is it? It really, really isn't the same. Jadon Sancho went public and started, throwing Ten Hag under the bus. Marcus Rashford and his brother and his agent have sat down with Ten Hag and had a conversation about the situation. They've dealt with it. They've moved past it. And it just shows what a professional manager Erik ten Hag is. This is what you just need to trust him for. Don't go throwing him under the bus. Don't start undermining him. Just believe in him. Talk things through and he will find a solution for everything. So like I said, the United lineup was very strong, and that included Marcus Rashford in the starting 11, which was kind of surprising. For me, I think he should have started. That might sound very, very controversial, but it doesn't now because the power of hindsight exists, and he did go and score a goal, which we'll talk about in a minute. But over Anthony, I'd start Rashford any day. I mean, Anthony contributed a little bit to the Newport game with a goal and an assist, but, that's Newport in the cup. I think Marcus Rashford just offers something different off that left. It also allows Garnacho to play off the right as well, so I had a strong feeling about Marcus Rashford yesterday. And what did he go and do? Inside 6 minutes, he opened the scoring, putting us 1-0 up with an actual sublime finish, if I do say so myself. And the actual goal worked really well. I think Dalot had it on the right-hand side. He fizzed it across. Bruno Fernandes did like a little dummy. Højlund laid it off for Rashford, and he stuck it in the top corner. Simple as that. What I also thought of Rashford yesterday, he wasn't greedy like he normally is. He was sort of playing like a senior leader in the team. He was sort of linking up the play, and he was being a proper team worker. And maybe that's because of Luke Shaw, because they really, really worked well on that left-hand side, Luke Shaw and Rashford. We've seen it for the past 3 or 4 years now. They have this weird bond on that left-hand side. They allow each other to play a lot better. Rashford will often get the ball, start gliding towards goal, but then you'll see Luke Shaw make an overlapping run, and we saw that for the second goal. Luke Shaw has it on the left-hand side. He fizzes a brilliant ball across the 6-yard box. I think it hits Kilman, the Wolves captain, on the way there, and then it's a bit of a toss-up with Dawson and Højlund, and Højlund just nicks it and puts it in the back of the net to put us 2-0 up. Now, that's what you want to see, providing service for our striker, and Luke Shaw has done that, and he did it a few times yesterday. Garnacho did it a few times as well. Højlund could have walked away with 3 or 4 goals yesterday. We just need to start feeding the beast a lot more. Give him chances, he'll put them away. Now, obviously, I think in the second half, he had an opportunity to score a second goal. Garnacho laid it off for him, and it was a brilliant save with the feet from Jose Sarr. But this is what I'm saying with Højlund. Just believe in him. Trust him. He's only young. He's 20 years of age. There's plenty of growth in him. But he needs the support, he needs the service, and he will score goals. And they're starting to flow in now. I think he scored 3 in his last 3 games, as well as a few assists as well along the way. So his link-up play, by the way, his link-up play needs to be spoken about a lot more. He's one of the best hold-up strikers in the league at the minute, and I mean that. Into the second half now as well, and where I was getting a bit wary is the first 5 minutes of the second half. Normally, United are very, very poor. We tend to concede a goal between the 46th and the 50th minute a lot. But we carried on playing like we were in the first half. Again, more chances went begging. We missed a few more. And I was starting to get a little bit nervous because the amount of chances we had was abnormal. You don't really see United have and create that many chances in a game of football. And then the inevitable happened. Wolves found a way to get back into the game. Pedro Neto. Wow. We need to talk about this, don't we? Because for me, it's a dive all day. I mean, the penalty, that's what we're on about now if you didn't or hadn't gathered. How on earth is the referee giving that? I get it he has to give it on the pitch. He's seen Casemiro stick a leg out and he's seen Neto go down a little bit forlorn, but he's seen it happen and he's pointing to the spot. And at first I was like, that's a bit theatrical. I didn't think it was a penalty in real time. And then having watched it on the VAR, on the replay, how they've still stuck to that decision baffles my mind. Now, I've seen a lot of sympathy with Wolves as well because they've had a lot of decisions go against them this season, but that one, they've had an absolute gift on a plate there, and it's allowed them to get straight back into the game. Again, if we look back at the Liverpool-Chelsea game, there should have been a couple there. There's a Conor Gallagher one, which was similar to the Neto one, but they didn't give it at Anfield, and they've given the one here at Wolves, which, again, is the consistency. We say it week in, week out. I'm actually bored of that word as well. It's actually really boring. But, again, they got the penalty, they took it, they scored it. Pablo Sarabia putting Wolves right back in the game, and I knew the game would turn on its head there a little bit because the fans would be behind them, and we saw that for the next 3 or 4 minutes. The fans were on our back, and we struggled to get hold of the game again until Scott McTominay entered the pitch and bagged the goal. It's inevitable with Scott McTominay, isn't it? Like, as an actual player, as an actual midfielder, he doesn't offer an awful lot. I must say, I think his passing's poor, I think his defending's poor. But when you stick him in the box, in the opposition box, to try and grab a goal, he's unbelievable at it. I don't understand this. I don't really get it. Why is he not being played as like a second striker? I mean, I think Ten Hag sort of sussed it out now. Keep McTominay on the bench, Last 15-20 minutes, throw him on if you need a goal. And that's what he did. And he scored straight away. It's actually a nice cushioned header. He sort of headed it against the floor and it bounced up to the roof of the goal. It was actually a very nice goal, straight from a corner as well. And at that point, I thought it was home and hosed. I thought United had won the game, well, sealed the victory with a 2-goal margin at 3-1. I didn't expect Wolves to get back in it at all, I must admit. 87th minute though, a bit of a scrappy one in the box. It falls to Dawson. I think he just lashes one, hits a few players. Kilman controls it and then just blasts it in past Onana and Dalot, who were on the line. For me, I think Onana should do better. I'm not an expert at goalkeeping, but I think anyone can see Onana's got to do better there. It's like he's glued to his line. I don't get it. From what I've seen, it's been whipped in. He's there. Onana should close the angle a little bit more. Maybe not even just the angle. Just move up a little bit. He stays on his line. It sort of hits his shoulder and goes in. Dalot can't clear it off the line. If he moves even just 2 yards off his line, I'd love to hear goalkeepers, by the way, or their perspective, or am I being harsh on Onana? I'm not sure, but this is just my opinion. Comes 2 yards off his line, makes himself bigger, and it just bounces off his chest and away from goal, and we can gather it away, and we won't be in that sort of situation. But that's just my opinion anyway. I'm not sure if that's the general consensus around things with Onana. I think he should do a little bit better on that goal, personally. And then the equalising goal was just silly, wasn't it? I mean, Anthony had the ball on the edge of our box. We're about to score. I think, actually, it came from our corner. We decided to cross it in the 96th minute with only 9 added on. Also, 9 added on? Are they just pulling random numbers out? Where are they getting 9 minutes from? There was a pause for a penalty. That took about 2 minutes to clear, so I'm not actually sure where they're getting 9 minutes from, genuinely. I don't understand it. But anyway, the inevitable happened. Wolves countered after Anthony lost it on the edge of our box. Cunha and Neto, who were two of Wolves' best players yesterday, quite frankly, and they've been probably the best players this season, especially Matheus Cunha. He's really, really good. But he slides it out to Pedro Neto. He's just got a lot of time on his hands. I mean, it's only Rafael Varane at the back. He just cuts it on the left foot. It goes through Varane's legs, I believe, and just roots Onana to the spot, tucks it into the bottom corner. And it looked like Wolves had levelled the game and took away a point from this game. Now, personally, after that goal went in, I was distraught. I was like, this is one of our best performances of the season, and we've thrown it away again. But up stepped 18-year-old Kobbie Mainoo. Now, oh my God, he is a joke of a player. He's unbelievable. He's an absolutely unreal talent. The swag of the goal, he just picks it up. I think Amari Forson lays it off, and he actually does really well. He's an integral part of the goal. He lays it off for Mainoo, and then he drags his defender away, leaving a little bit of space for Kobbie Mainoo to run into. And that's what he does. He takes it past the defender, nutmegs Kilman, I think, and then just starts gliding into the box. Wraps it with his right foot into the bottom corner. A finish that you expect from a 30-year-old seasoned pro. And he just shrugs off. He starts running off, not caring, just shrugging his shoulders. Doesn't care. That's just what he does because he's so unbelievably talented. That goal is... Honestly, I think I've rewatched it about 50 times, and that's just this morning. I think it was about 30 yesterday. An unreal talent, and there's no way he should be dropped from the team. He just can't be. I think this is basically the team we're going to be playing with most weeks now, I think. As long as we don't get any injuries, fingers crossed. I don't want to see any injuries. I saw Martinez had a bit of ice on his foot after the game yesterday, but I think that was just a precaution. I think it was swelling up a little bit. I think he'll be okay for West Ham, hopefully. Yeah, speaking of West Ham, that's our next game on Sunday. Hopefully we'll win it. I'm going to give you a little cheeky score prediction here now, and then we'll do a video reacting to the West Ham game as well on the Sunday. So for me, at home to West Ham, I think we'll win. It's a massive game. I think we leapfrog them if we win. I'm going to go 2-1 Manchester United for that game. Let me know your score predictions down below. Let me know what you thought of this game. And that is it. I'll see you all in the next one.